When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Science cannot solve the ultimate mystery of nature. And that is because, in the last analysis, we ourselves are a part of the mystery that we are trying to solve. A scientific truth does not triumph by convincing its opponents and making them see the light, but rather because its opponents eventually die and a new generation grows up that is familiar with it. Anybody who has been seriously engaged in scientific work of any kind realizes that over the entrance to the gates of the Temple of Science are written the words, "You must have faith. All matter originates, and they exist only by virtue of a force. We must assume behind this force the existence of a conscious and intelligent mind. This mind is the matrix of all matter. Faith is a quality which the scientist cannot dispense with. The assumption of an absolute determinism is the essential foundation of every scientific inquiry. An experiment is a question which science poses to nature, and a measurement is the recording of nature's answer. There can never be any real opposition between religion and science, for the one is the complement of the other. I regard consciousness as fundamental. I regard matter as derivative from consciousness. We cannot get behind consciousness. Everything that we talk about, everything that we regard as existing, postulates consciousness. The pursuit of knowledge has no end. Science is a perpetual journey, not a destination. New ideas often encounter strong resistance, not because they are logically flawed, but because they contradict established beliefs. The pioneer scientist must have an imagination that can see possibilities and faith in an intuition that can go where reason does not yet know the way. A new scientific truth does not triumph by convincing its opponents and making them see the light, but rather because its opponents eventually die. Double quotes. Science enhances the moral values of life because it furthers a love of truth and reverence love of truth, displaying itself in scientific research and reverence in the recognition of mystery. Double quotes. There is no difference between religion and science, for both depend on a belief in something that cannot be proven. The more we probe into nature's secrets, the more we sense that behind each discovery lies a profound mystery. Scientific discovery and scientific knowledge have been achieved only by those who have gone in pursuit of them without any practical purpose whatsoever in view. We must be clear that when it comes to atoms, language can be used only as in poetry. Science progresses not by eliminating mysteries, but by uncovering deeper and more profound ones. The highest court is not the court of reason, but the court of conscience. Egoism is rooted in the erroneous belief that life exists as an independent entity in each individual, and not merely as a part of a greater whole. To work at the frontier of knowledge, we must have faith and imagination, qualities that exceed the logic of existing knowledge. Nature is inexhaustibly complex, and every answer leads to new questions. Insight must precede application, for only then can science contribute meaningfully to our lives. There is a real world independent of our senses, but our understanding of it is always filtered through our perception. Double quotes. The scientist does not study nature because it is useful. He studies it because he delights in it. And he delights in it because it is beautiful. Real progress in science comes not from the accumulation of facts, but from the willingness to reimagine them. The ultimate purpose of science is not to produce a catalog of facts, but to create a deeper understanding of reality. Truth never triumphs its opponents, just die out. Science advances one funeral at a time. It is through the study of the infinitely small that we shall understand the infinitely great. In every field of inquiry, nature has surprises in store for us. Double quotes. Only those who believe in the truth of what they are pursuing can hope to discover it. The goal of science is to uncover the hidden patterns of nature, not just to categorize its parts. To reach beyond the ordinary, one must be willing to accept uncertainty and to live with unanswered questions. All physical reality is ultimately rooted in the intangible and the invisible. In the realm of science, our greatest tool is the question. Our perception of reality changes, but reality itself remains a mystery. Experiment is the only means of knowledge at our disposal. Everything else is poetry and imagination. No matter how deep we go in our search for knowledge, we always reach an uncharted territory beyond. We cannot rest until we reach an understanding of the forces and principles that unite all aspects of reality. The task of science is to expand our understanding of the natural world, even if that means challenging our beliefs. The greatest breakthroughs often come from those willing to abandon old frameworks and think anew. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. At the heart of every scientific endeavor lies a profound respect for nature and the forces that govern it. A man's judgment about science should be based on experience, not dogma or authority. Reality is not confined to what we observe. It extends beyond the limits of our senses and imagination. Science cannot solve the ultimate mystery of nature because we ourselves are part of nature and therefore part of the mystery that we are trying to solve. Double quotes. To be a physicist requires passion, intuition, and a childlike wonder as much as it requires logic and rigor. The pursuit of science brings us closer to an understanding of our place within the greater whole. Real genius is the capacity to retain a sense of wonder in the face of complexity. Double quotes. The meaning of life is to seek truth, even if truth itself is an elusive and infinite goal.